Meet me at Wichita Square. This is the title that we have come up with to describe Kettle's site number 5. To begin the presentation, we must understand the three main highlight points: our location, our goals and visions for Kettle's site number 5, and our target audience. First of all, location. Kettle's site number 5 is located in south of Block 1, just one block down of Douglas Avenue. It just so happened to be located between two major event places, and they are the arena and the convention center. We also noticed that Kettle's site number 5 is in the middle of downtown, creating an axis mundi, which means the center of the universe. Therefore, we believe that Kettle's site number 5 has a lot of potentials. Next, our goals and visions for Kettle's site number 5, and they are: implementation of a diverse public space amenities, manifest sustainable ideas to inhabit, establish sustainable connections, and lastly, have a service be defined by Wichita's heritage. Moving on to talk about our target audience. We understood from the master plan that the target audience for downtown Wichita was the yipster or the hipster, and we made sure that we work around that and we designed for that. Next, we looked at our existing condition for the site, and the image shows that Kettle's site number 5 right now is just a big empty parking lot with two main existing structures. We wanted to turn this place into an attraction of a city and downtown area in specific. So we looked at similar case studies that had the similar situation, and the one we looked at was the Pioneer Square in Portland, Oregon. We found out that in order to make an empty parking lot popular is by getting people to get interested in the area and wanting to see new improvements and new projects happening. And we have come up with few solutions to make that happen. And one of the solutions is by bringing an anchor to the city. We did a research on the large grocery shopping markets, such as Whole Foods and Safeway, and we realized that there aren't any ones within a mile radius of our site. So we figured out that we need one of those anchors to get the people interested and to come into our site. Another solution is by activating the alleys and creating a nighttime path for people to feel safe when they walk to the site. Also creating a park for events to take place and for people to gather. Build housing and attract hipsters to live in the city more. Build more retails and restaurants. So our next step was to phase out the projects and organize them, and we have decided that this project will go on 3 different phases. Phase 1 is laying out the plan. As the first step to attract people, we know we have to do something to get them to wonder of what could happen here on the site. So by painting the ground into different colors and spray painting a bunch of adjectives in big fonts, people will start to wonder, why is it saying this on the ground when I'm just parking in the parking lot? In addition, there will be places for food carts and food vendors to park and serve food during lunch hours. All of this while keeping the existing structure without destroying or demolishing anything on the site. Phase 2 is constructing a mixed-use building. This phase will focus on constructing 2 main buildings in the southern side of Kettle's site number 5. We decided that we want to construct the building in the south side because we are planning on constructing a park in the north side of the block. This will allow the park to get some exposure when people are walking to the building from Block 1. The whole site will have an underground parking lot structure, and the buildings will contain some retails such as boutiques, restaurants, cafes with outdoor seatings, salons, and of course a grocery shopping market which will act as an anchor for the site. The buildings will also have large office spaces, apartment housing, and green roof, which could serve as a community-based garden or a source for the restaurants to get their goodies and fresh food from. And this section shows how the program is going to be laid out in the buildings. Once Phase 2 is done, it is logical to move to Phase 3, which is bringing the prairie back to Wichita's downtown. The park should be a continuation of the same language or texture that the buildings are made out of. The park will have spaces for activities and events to take place. There will be an amphitheater with an overhead structure to cover it from the sunlight and the rainy days. There will also be some spaces for food carts and food vendors to serve food. There will also be an information center connected to a secured lockers room. In the park, there will also be some access doors to the underground parking lots. And lastly, there will be a lot of green spaces for people to hang out in the nice summer days. By the end of Phase 3, the site is now activated and ready for people to use and utilize. So essentially, this design is creating a safe environment for downtown city life.